important.
I got
Don't
things.
ever edit me again.
You were legit. I looked at you.
You stopped
I
that at
know.
legit. You stopped that at
I'm
legit.
just saying.
You put that ly at the end of legit, and I'll beat the crap out of you. Because I just listened.
Oh,
to
that's the word that it was. I was trying to remember.
Legitly.
I was trying to remember what the word was.
God, I was listening to Retro Gamers, and I wanted to just. I'm sitting there delivering my. I'm walking down the street delivering my mail and going, "What the fuck? There's not even a word." Legitly. I literally. I want you to imagine now. It's a quiet street, okay, and you just hear the mailman go, "Legitimately, dick," or Sega. It's Sega.
You still can't get over that, can you?
I hate when you say Sega.
Sega.
Say.
What do you think of the new Alante?
I like it. Is that 4D? 4K?
It
4K?
is, yes. A Sony. Something or other. 4K. That I use the network money for. Not at all.
What money?
Not exactly.
How much?
I'm not at liberty to say, but 24-month financing.
4 figures?
With tax.
60?
No, 55. I want it, as you can tell, it's a little bit too big.
No, that's fine.
But I was looking for like a 43.
I'm shocked that you hadn't that one bigger than sooner.
So, well, the deals were going good. It was at Best Buy. I know you're not crazy about Best Buy, but they had a really good.
I'm okay with Best Buy, except for this piece of shit laptop that I have. Look, can we listen to the fan on my laptop?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pull the curtain back for a moment. When we record, I wear headphones just to gauge the sounds and everything. And Frank just put that. Do it again. Just do it again. That's the fan on his laptop. Yeah. I heard that from here.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I remember I had that issue with my laptop with the
porn?
With the plug.
Oh, yes.
Right. It wasn't the plug. It was the battery.
Oh, yeah.
So I went and bought it. I went through HP, bought the plug there. We got anally raped.
Got DP'd
almost $70.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I said, screw this. Went to Amazon. When I got the message saying I have an issue with my battery after I bought the plug, I got that HP message. It was like, haha, sucker. And they go, well, you can only buy the HP battery. How much was that? $80. I'm like, nope, Amazon, $20. Came in 4 days.
When I went to buy the television, so again, I was looking for like a 43. I would, because this is a 37. I still have my old TV in front of the new.
I got a 40 in my basement in Studio B.
So 37.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. My living room, kitchen, and playroom now.
I was looking for 43. So of course, the wonderful young lady who was working in the television section
saw you coming
at Best Buy
away.
She was like, "Well,"
she unbuttoned her blue
no.
button. It was like, "Hey, big boy, you need a big 43-incher."
So I go, I'm looking for 4K, and of course she goes, well,
tight khakis.
4K really, you start to see 4K really good at 50-inch television screen. Now I'm going in for a 43, like that. I'm talking to a 50-inch television. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me. So,
no, I think I'm going to agree with you on this one.
So we're looking around, and she pointed me to a really good 50-inch television, but then I saw this 55-inch, so I'm like, all right. Let's go 55. And then when I brought it home, you can see stuff.
Can't drive. 55.
You can see the stuff have displayed behind it. It's just
not important.
It's a little higher, a little bigger than I thought.
It's not important.
But the 4K on this bad boy, it took me 3 days to figure it out, how to get it to work.
The 4K?
Yeah. And of the 4 HDMI ports, only 2 of them truly display in 4K HDR.
Okay, well, now that we lost 97% of our listeners.
No, I'm just talking. I'm just saying. So I had Sophie's choice because I got the new PS4 Pro, the new Xbox One X.
The fact that you use Sophie's choice as a metaphor.
And the new 4K Apple TV. I had to figure out which 2 of these would get the 4K HDR.
So that was, okay. I had a balance where... I was going to set up a kitchen table in Studio B because I have no kitchen. I have no walls in pretty much the whole half of my house upstairs. But yeah, good luck. Good luck to you trying to figure out where to put your gaming systems. That's great.
Well, I got them right there.
Yeah.
So, I gotta move that.
I can't
PS4
even.
Pro.
You know what I normally do. You know what my normal routine is after the kids are asleep, the wife's nodding off or whatever. I go downstairs and I play video games.
Oh, video
sometimes.
games. Okay.
No, can't do that.
Oh yeah, everyone's down there.
No, not that everyone's down there. Whenever to get to my basement, I have to go outside.
Wait,
Go through the garage.
You know, I saw you post something or say something about that, but I thought you were joking.
No.
What?
You know the layout of my house.
Yes.
Okay. What do you normally have to get into the basement from inside the house? Where do you have to go through?
Well, you cut through the kitchen, which
There's
is not there
no
anymore.
kitchen.
But there can't be just a giant hole in the house.
There's a giant hole in the house.
Really?
It's you gotta remember they put plastic up that you can't because the dust would. I went straight down to the studs.
Really?
Right down to the studs. And I'm even replacing studs. Okay, it's.
Hey, you can never replace me.
You're replaceable. Trust me.
Ooh,
Yeah, don't worry.
wow.
I'm getting my own.
Right here.
I'm getting my own hardware now. I bought a microphone. A microphone
You
stand.
did.
I bought
I'm
the microphone stand for Smurfs. But kudos to Amazon because they. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, I have my. So now to go to my basement, I have to go outside. Beep boop bop boop. Open up the garage door. Wait for the garage door to open. Yeah, Marty. Go into the shut the garage door. Go into the basement. Do whatever I need to do down there. Play video games, whatever. Watch TV. Make my puzzle. Have some alone time with myself. Whatever's necessary. Then usually I'll pop up around like 1 o'clock in the morning. But now I have to go outside to go back into the front door of my house, and then possibly wake everyone in my house. So that
you better off just moving the Xbox upstairs for now.
I said that to my wife. And honestly, I don't even. No, it wasn't vetoed. I just don't actually have a desire to start unplugging shit. Because in a couple of days I will have access.
Oh, all right.
They just put the subfloor down, and they ripped out the wall that goes. Well, there's no door now to go into my basement. It's all open. That whole wall is open now. So they reframed it. They're going to sheetrock tomorrow. And apparently I have something called cathedral ceilings now. I don't know what that is, but apparently my wife is happy.
They're just high ceilings, aren't they?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Okay.
I lost some attic space, but I don't care. We don't do anything.
You had an attic?
I do have an attic.
That. Huh.
Yeah, that's where I keep the bodies.
That's where you keep your twin.
Yeah, he's very pale and clammy. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. But I was saying, kudos to Amazon because I put a bunch of microphone stands in my my wish list so I could go over them later and see which ones I wanted. And I clicked on the wrong one, and I got one that was a desktop one, but it was for a Smurf. Like I said, I think it raised to the height of 10 inches or something, it was not good at all. So I go to return it. I opened it the day I got it. I'm like, this box is way too small. I open it. I'm like, yeah, this is not going to work. I go, and this item is not available for refund.
Ooh.
I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm a Prime member, bitch. So I get on with
Ahmed.
Lydia on the chat, and I always think it's a computer.
Lydia.
I think it's a computer, But my first thing, I'm like, are you a human? Yes, I am a human. I'm like, are you a human? I'm like, say fuck. Type. I'm like, type fuck. I'm like, and she's like, that's really not a thing we should say. And I'm like, you're not a human. She's like, I'm a human, Frank. And I'm like, I'm still not convinced. So anyway, it's I have the chat. The transcript.
Aren't there like 3 questions you have to ask?
Yeah, but then you get to a chat.
No, I meant like to figure out if something's like a robot or not. Wasn't that like in some book or something?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or the laws of I forgot. There's some sort of laws for robots so they don't become sentient or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll check it out. It was on the Big Bang Theory.
So I'm like, yeah. I go, this microphone stand is way too small, and it's saying it's not refundable. And she's like, let me look at your thing. Do you have an order number? And I'm like, yeah. So I type in the order number because I already cut and pasted it twice already. And then it's just a pause. Pause. No problem, Mr. Messina. We're going to refund that for you right there.
She was rebooting.
You could either donate or dispose of the item. And I'm like, you guys don't want it back? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay. So I'm going to donate it. Wink, wink. We have an extra microphone
Oh, very good.
We have an extra mic stand.
Okay. Good.
And I'm going to donate it to a school or something.
School or synagogue.
School, synagogue, place of worship, or network. More of the same.
All right, cool.
You know,
one less thing for me to, two less things for me to bring over.
Well, not even that. Yeah. Well, but there's also, you know, we could take that, like, you know, if you want a mic stand for when you do the shows, we have an extra one. I'll show it to you next time. Well, whenever whenever we shoot at Studio B again, I'm thinking sometime in May because, oh my God, you saw the pictures online in my house.
No, because for some reason you blocked me. So...
I didn't block you. No, you blocked me.
I don't think so. Bitch.
I've only blocked one person, and it's not you. From seeing my statuses.
Is he another member of the More the Same network?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, if you press pause, I'll tell you.
What?
Like the ATM machine. Terrible.
I don't know why I selected ATM machine.
Are we still paused?
No.
Oh. Okay. So so that's going on. So funny thing, yesterday. What are you looking at?
Some of your friends.
Oh, some of my friends. Oh, they're all probably married, Larry.
Oh, she's cute.
Who? Don't say a name. Show me the picture. That's my cousin, and she's married, you fuck.
Oops.
You've met her, you ass.
Have I?
Yeah.
Where?
Probably at my wedding.
Oh, I don't remember a lot
Jack
from that
Bag.
evening.
You weren't that drunk.
No, I wasn't drunk at all. Just so long ago. Oh, look at that. Yeah.
So yesterday
Is that your garage?
Yes. Yesterday was the anniversary of my first date with Stephanie.
Aw.
Yeah, so funny thing is we actually moved to the neighborhood where we actually ended our first date.
Oh, really?
Yes, we moved, the town of Wantaw. We actually, our date ended at a coffee house by the Wantaw train station called The Cup. And every year I get the same dessert on March 27th.
Fabulous?
A little bit.
Okay.
Listen, it gets me laid. So she appreciates it. So last night, obviously with the kids, we can't get out to it. Before we had kids, we would just go.
Yeah.
So last night I went out. I had to actually drop a table off at a friend's house. A future podcast listener, Nico, he said he's going to listen to this.
Oh, good.
My neighbor.
What's going on, Nico?
Well, he just started episode 1.
Oof.
So he'll probably hear this in June.
Long episodes, yeah.
So hope you're enjoying the table. So I dropped it off at his house, and on the way back up, I swinged in and got. Now, this place, I'm going to give them a free plug.
No.
They're not sponsors, but I'm going to talk to the guy. The Cup Coffee House in Wantaw by the train, actually literally at the train station. They have frozen hot chocolate, which many places do. But they have something called the smushed pie in a mug. Now, it is exactly what it is. It's a smushed pie in a mug.
Swished fish patty on a bun.
No. They take a slice of pie, your choice. We get pecan.
And poontang?
I hate you. Sometimes I really just, I'd like to strangle you with this mic cord sometimes. And I mean that in the nicest, fondest possible way. So they take a piece of pecan pie in a mug, and they heat it up.
In a what?
A mug. What's up with that mug? In my case, it was a to-go mug. Okay. But and then they put vanilla ice cream over it.
Oh,
with yes, but then they also put a little marshmallow fluff.
Ooh. I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't care how you feel about it. All I know is I loved it.
Okay.
Stephanie loved it.
Good.
And then after we watched the Roseanne reboot, we had a little sexy time. So that was nice. Happy anniversary to me.
There you go.
But then I started thinking about first dates. Now, my first date was a blind date. She had to be blind to go out with me. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. But I had some pretty horrendous first dates. Now, I dated when I started doing online dating in the very beginning of online dating.
Oh, really?
Before Tinder, it was like OkCupid, and there was called something CupidJunction.com, I think it was called.
I've tried OkCupid.
And I told you the story about when I had the girl who I said I don't want a smoker and no kids.
Oh yeah,
and
she
came out. And her husband lived there. Remember, her ex-husband was in the house, and there was a kid running around, and she had her stogies, So I was like, yeah, this is going nowhere. Well, I was thinking, I have another one, which I didn't really think about it until yesterday when I was actually thinking about my first date, and I thought it'd be a funny story for the pod. So I meet this girl. I don't exactly remember where. I think I met her in an AOL chat room. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, actually, I did meet her in an AOL chat room, and I remember because her name was Danielle. I remember that. Not my ex-girlfriend Danielle. What?
Official?
I wish. But we met through an AOL chat, and then then you obviously go on to a private chats, and I'm dating myself with the AOL, but and we're talking, whatever. We you exchange pictures, and everything, and she was good looking, I mean, she was pretty good looking. But when I went to actually had the date, we met in Bay Ridge. Now, she parked a car in Bay Ridge. You know where the parking lot is by Pizzeria Uno?
I think
it's like an underground parking lot there.
Yeah.
She parked her car there, and then we met like right at that, and then we went out to a restaurant that actually Frankie recommended.
Oh, okay.
My cousin Frankie. I think Natalie's, our friend Natalie's father owned.
Sure.
I think. Somebody, but anyway. So, and I get there, and she is your typical Staten Island goujette, but she's good looking. I mean, she's not, and she's curvaceous, big boobas, I mean, and but she's wearing like those remember those black flat boots? They like flat. There was no heel to them back in the day.
Not like wrestling boot.
No, it was like a black boot. Like suede or some sort of, it wasn't leather, but it had no heel to it at all. Girls used to wear that with their jeans tucked into it or whatever. It was like the 90s version of Uggs. Okay. And the hair was just teased up and everything. But I'm like, all right, look, who am I to friggin', to complain? So we go to this restaurant and we have a nice, dinner. Then I took it to in Bay Ridge on 3rd Avenue. There's all like coffee shops, and we went to a cafe. We had dessert and coffee. Started walking. We were heading towards, the bridge or whatever. And then she's like, I think it's getting late. I'm just we I walked into the parking lot where her car was. So whatever, and then she does this, and then I still to this day wish her dead. No, that's the truth. So I'm like, I said I had a really good time tonight. I'd love to see you again. You know what she says to me? This still, oh God, it hurts me to even say it. She goes, yeah, I just don't find you attractive.
Oh.
And I'm like, I sat there. I was like, excuse me? She goes, yeah, you're not my type. I go, you think maybe you could have told me this before I got out of the car, or maybe before I spent $250 fucking on you, you bitch. And I go, I hope you get hit by a car on the way home. And I just got I was literally like a block away from where the parking lot was. And I walked away back to my car. And I'm like, I can't believe how much money I spent tonight. Because back then I had like a shit job. That was a lot of money. You know, whatever I spent. And I was just like, oh my God. I was like, and I knew it was the name because I just broken up with a girl named Danielle.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's it. I'm done. And then the funny thing was like maybe about 3 months later, I think I met Stephanie.
Oh wow, really?
But
okay.
Oh my God, I hate that girl, Danielle from Staten Island. If you're listening, I really hope you just fat and alone. Oh, you slut.
Well, if she was a slut, you would have had a better night.
Yeah. Okay. You fucking
who?
You judgy bitch.
There you go. All right, we'll take it. You Judge Judy wannabe.
I hope she's got freaking the HIV.
Nope.
Or some sort of.
Do the HIV. Do the HIV.
So yeah, that was. I had.
That's a rough one. That's rough to be told. I was told at a bachelor party. We were at someone's. I'm not going to say whose, but we were at a bachelor party. I can say it wasn't yours. No, it wasn't a stripper.
You were at my bachelor.
I was. Yes, that was the best steak I ever had.
Yeah, that was good.
That was fantastic.
That French onion soup was good,
and so was the Russian.
Also the Asian stripper who tried to get me for 3 dances. I'm like, I don't pay for anything tonight, sweetheart. All right, you came up to me and said, "Who's the groom?" And I went, "Me."
We sat on that second floor.
We
having
owned
dinner.
that second floor.
We did.
There was nobody else
Yep.
up there except us.
And you were able to see down to the stage.
And there was the girl in the schoolgirl outfit.
That was the Russian girl.
Yes.
And I remember.
Yes, hello. I am Minister of Defense in Mother Country. You like dance?
I'm
I'm
eating my
nuclear
steak.
physicist. You like dance?
Of course, me being me, we lock eyes, and I'm like, this is it. This is my future. I found her. And I figured,
fell in love with the stripper.
and I figured it was going to be smooth sailing from there. Well, needless to say, when the lights came on at the end of the night, she disappeared, and I don't know where she went.
because her boyfriend Bortis came and picked her up. Do you remember the girl? Well, what happened at finish your bachelor story?
Oh yeah, so
Bachelor party story.
we're at a club. Oh, actually, it wasn't even a strip club, just a regular club, and a bunch of us were just sitting down, and two girls came over, and they sat next to me and a friend of mine, who both of us just happened to be single, and they're like, "Oh, so what's going on?" So we're telling them, buddy of ours, getting married, blah blah blah. It's like, "Oh, okay." Anyone available? I'm like, no, we're pretty much, they all have either wives or girlfriends. And I remember
Except me.
Well, yeah, no, and my buddy of mine, he was kind of in the middle of talking with someone, so he was kind of, not interested in one girl. So they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll go and try and talk to some of your friends." And I go, "But they all have girlfriends and everything. I'm single. How you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm Larry." She goes, "Yeah, but you're single. So it's okay."
Wow.
And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" She's like, "Yeah, they're missing out. All their wives and girlfriends are at home, so they can have a good time." I'm like, "So you're basically telling me
You're a hooah.
no, because I'm really the only available one here."
So she wanted a challenge.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like a girl like that.
Oh, I mean, the only thing I can do at that point is just laugh. That's all I do.
Two things. Yeah, well, that's not. You know what, Larry? Not the girl for you.
No. Well, meeting her in a club, no, not at all.
No.
Ooh. I just got a comment liked by the wonderful and talented Brie Olson. Okay.
You have like this ongoing relationship with her. Didn't she also like another one of your tweets a long time ago?
No, she supposedly, I don't think it was her, though. I think it was
Wasn't it the one about the yoga pants?
Oh, yes. She did comment on that. Yes. I forgot what she said.
You and Brie Olson have a thing going on.
Look, what can I say? I've had
Oh my God, you're Larry Flint.
I can only be so lucky.
Yeah, be in a wheelchair and be 80 years old.
I'll take the money. I've shit myself before. I can do it on a daily basis. I've
Such an animal.
I've had conversations with Brie Olson and Jenna Jameson. Legit conversations.
You scare me when you say legit, because you're too legit to quit. Every time you do it, I'm like, I tense up because I know legitly's coming out. Say that. Don't legitimately.
Legitimate.
You can't say. Roads. Legitimately. Country of origin. No. So it's funny you mentioned.
Please say in a sentence.
You mentioned the strip club. Do you remember when we went to the strip club? All of us went to the strip club.
When you fell off the curb.
No. The one on Kings Highway. Were you there with us? It was all of us.
Oh, the body shop.
The body shop.
I was
when I got the Russian girl fired.
Hold on. No. Well, I know the story. I was so drunk that night. I honestly, the only thing I remember is they had a Ms. Pac-Man machine.
You would remember that. You're the worst.
I'm just saying.
We went for some reason. We went and I think Verdi and I just paid rent, so we literally had like $5 to our names. Yeah. I went in. I think I had just had enough of the cover and the 2-drink minimum or whatever, and I think after that I had $4 left. And I remember this one Russian girl stripper coming up to me, and she looked at me for some reason. She focused in on me, and she was like, "You're gonna get me out of this," and she's like, "Oh, And of course, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fell in love with the stripper.
Well, who hasn't?
Who hasn't? Well, we know a few people who haven't.
Well,
so. So and she's like, yes, we should go out together, and I'm like, listen, sweetheart. I'm like, I got no money. She's like, no, I don't care.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to drink. And normally I'm waiting for them to buy. And I'm like, look, I'm telling you right now. I go, see this, and I go, I have $4. I'm like, this is all I have for the night. I don't get paid.
Zoinks.
I don't get paid till like next Thursday. I'm
Yeah.
like, so I got nothing. And she's not leaving. And then the bouncer like signals her, to like get in the back, I guess for a costume change or whatever.
Yeah.
She's got to go on stage or whatever.
She gotta go in the champagne room.
And she's blowing him off, and I'm like,
Whoa.
looking, and I'm like,
All
and I'm
right.
like,
Oh.
I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm like, and I remember you don't remember, but I remember Verdi and I could feel Frankie was there, and I'm implicating people right now, but that's okay, I don't care. So listen, ladies, your men go to strip clubs, all of them, Dad, all of them did, even your dad, all of them did. Okay, so
The days on Marriott.
please. So. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this is going on like 5 more minutes go by. I mean, and that's like an eternity. I'm trying to, and I'm really like, this is the first time where I wanted her to go away. I'm like, you need to go away. I'm like, and then I'm like, don't you have to go like dance or something? And she's like, boom. All of a sudden, he comes over, he grabs her. He grabs her by like where the armpit is, and he's like, let's go. And she tosses her in the back. And like, I remember Mike, our friend Mike.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, I didn't say your last name.
I think it's easier to say who wasn't there that night.
Yeah, well, Mike goes, dude, you got it. She's dead. You just killed her. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. She won't leave. So about 5 minutes later, she comes out in street clothes, regular clothes, with her like bag.
No.
And she just walks out. She like shoots me a look with her eyes, and I'm like. And then I remember that same Mike goes, you just got her fired. You just got her fired. And I'm like, stop it. No, I didn't. And yeah, well, apparently
that is fantastic.
Apparently I might have gotten her fired.
That is fantastic.
But it's funny because then for the rest of the night, it was like, yes, hello, Mr. Frank. Yes, I was a college professor in Mother Russia. You like dance? Yes.
That
was brutal.
Actually had a stripper. This was at Scores in New York City.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with that place. No. Is that a sports bar?
It could be. Okay. Technically, it was probably playing sports.
Oh, that's where Wonder Boy left in when he was going over the George Washington Bridge in that movie.
Yeah.
Michael Rappaport. Remember he was in that movie Copland.
Never saw it.
What? Get out of my house. Wait, get out of your house.
What? You're living here now while the renovations?
By the way, I had a funny line yesterday with Stephanie. I was in the basement, and I'm like, you know what? This apartment, if this apartment was in another house, it'd be perfect for Larry. And she lost it. She's like, what does that mean? I go, I don't want him living here. But I go, this would be a perfect apartment for Larry.
My godson, I was with him, and he looked at me. He goes, yeah, he's 7, and he goes, I wish you can stay here all the time because I come over and we play game night. Yeah. I go, you know what, kid?
With his gummed up controllers.
They will never touch my controllers. And he goes, I wish you could stay here forever. I'm like, I don't think your parents would want that.
How's about no?
How about no?
Your cousin wouldn't want that. Eric might, because he'd have somebody to play with.
Yeah, no, Jamie wouldn't have any of it.
Is he still here?
I think I get that now sometimes if I overstay my welcome.
You complain about kids touching these, but I'm looking at your monitor, and it is filthy.
What?
Is that a touchscreen?
What? No, not at all.
It's disgusting.
No, it's just a little dusty.
Dusty? I'm looking at fingerprints and dots. I don't know what you're touching on there.
Dots? What do you mean?
Like finger, like when you go.
Well, yeah, because what happens is somehow when if I'm sitting over here, I start to play. I move the monitor around to get a good positioning. But then sometimes I'll just be like, like this to move it.
It's making my eye twitch.
So that's a lot of money for a computer that really I do stuff on it that doesn't deserve a lot of money.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm
the king of wasting money.
I'm at Scores.
Money Frank doesn't have.
That's it. You're staring right at it, and all those over there. The video games. My brand new. Oh, I got that for my Christmas.
Okay.
Hey, those are cool.
You have a yoga mat?
I do have a yoga mat.
You do yoga.
I got to. Listen, my birthday. As of this recording, my birthday's in 2 days. And
I didn't get you anything.
No, that's okay. Because I assumed that.
No. Because There's a reason.
I'm not.
All right, whatever. Go ahead.
What's the reason?
No, go ahead.
Tell me.
Finish your story.
Please?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
And when this drops, it's your birthday.
Yes.
So happy birthday to both of us.
Thank you. Happy belated birthday, Larry.
Oh, thank you, sir. What I was going to say was...
What'd you get me?
Another year of a wonderful podcast.
Woot, woot.
When I turn 38, it's a new year, a new lease.
38.
So yeah, I know, please. So I'm hoping to my life changing for the better, health wise. Anyway, so I'm at Scores in the city, the only establishment where the ATM fee for withdrawal was $18.95.
Wait a second. The surcharge?
The surcharge.
Where was this?
Scores in the city.
Shut the hell up.
I was shocked.
I would have been cancel.
Oh, there was a line. Because it's a strip club. And it's people are drunk. It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
wanted-
That's got to be a law. There's got to be a law against
I
that.
wanted to take money out just to have the receipt showing $18.95.
I can understand that.
So, but needless to say, I didn't take money out. Actually, I maybe went out to go to a different ATM. So, at that establishment, I actually got the line from the stripper who says, I'm here, just trying to put my kid through school.
Oh, God.
I'm wondering. Literally, I'm not even joking.
No.
Literally.
Oh, very good. Not literally. Literally.
Literally. I got that line. I'm putting my kids through school. I'm like, lady, I may just give you $5 just because you told me that.
That's
And then I paid for my friend's girlfriend's lap dance.
Wait. Oh, okay. She worked there, or no? She was there.
No, she was there with us.
I never been to a strip club with a girl.
To be fair, it was a lesbian's birthday party.
Oh,
but
no, okay. I think I know who it is.
But
not lesbian anymore.
No. It was after her. You knew her?
Both of them.
You were around for that? Okay.
In my apartment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because she had a couple. Yeah. Anyway, so
yeah, she's happily married.
Yeah, good for her.
The hotter one.
No, there was a real cute one after her. That was just a doll.
What is?
Then there was another one. She had another girlfriend who just like one day just texted me like, "Hey, look, I just happened to take a topless picture of myself." I'm like, "Thank you."
I had a friend's cousin who got fake boobs, and we were at a barbecue, and they were talking about it. And I'm like, "Wait, who got fake tits?" She's like, "I did. You want to feel them?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, because I thought she was joking.
Sure.
I thought she was joking. She literally takes my hand and puts it under her shirt. And I'm like...
Wait a minute.
Hey, wait. This is at a barbecue
Hold
with
on.
family around.
Not even over the shirt. She went under?
Over the bra.
Still. Hey, listen. We'll take it.
I was just like, okay.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was excited about that.
I don't blame you.
There was I'm not proud of this. But
this is gonna be good.
There was a remember I had that like 2-year streak when I was like single, I was like, single to the point where I wasn't even kissing anyone.
Yeah.
Okay. I had
I
was really on a
head.
dry spell. I went out with a bunch of my friends one night to a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of my fraternity brothers, and we ended up. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was a bachelor party. We ended and then we went by the third strip club we ended up at like 4 o'clock in the morning was another one on Kings Highway, but it wasn't a full strip club.
The fuck you going to strip clubs on Kings Highway?
No, well, we ended up there because and it wasn't it was one of those ones where like they're in like bikinis, but then if you get a lap dance, they go topless. Like they don't.
I think that's like that place in Staten Island.
I don't remember.
Because you fell off the stool. That's why
I
remember.
was not drunk.
Okay, whatever.
I swear on my mother and my kids, I was not drunk. I was driving that night. I had 3 people in my car.
That's fine.
I missed the goddamn step. That's what the problem was. That's fine. Wait.
Look, I had to take a shit, and there was no door on the thing.
So that's nasty. I could never do that.
I told you that story.
Yes. So we get to the last strip club, and it was like it was one of those ones where the girls are like in a G-string and a
which is fine. That works.
And then if you get the lap dance, then I guess it's their decision or whatever.
Yeah.
So
their discrepancy.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember how it worked. By then I had no money at the end of the night, so it was just like I had enough to get the drink. And one of the girls comes on stage, and the girl lived on my street.
Oh. Really? Wait, really?
Yes, she lived on my street, but I didn't grow up with her.
Okay.
Like she moved there as like a teenager or maybe early 20s, you know?
Yeah.
So I was I lived on one. You know where I live? I lived
Yeah.
closer to Shore Parkway. She lived on the opposite end of the street, so I wasn't actually friends with her.
Yeah.
But I recognized her from in Brooklyn. You didn't
Staring
park in front of
into
your
her apartment.
house. Yeah, when I was sneaking into her backyard, looking through her blinds while she was showering. What? Wait, is that?
He's a peeping Tom.
Cut that out. Don't cut that out. So I recognized her, and she recognized me. And when she got on stage, and I'm looking up at her, and I'm like, "Is that?" I'm like, and I'm looking, and like she's. So then she comes and she sits. She like after this thing, she comes and she sits down next. She's like, "Buy me a drink, Frank." And I'm like, I go, "It is you." I was like this, and I'm like, and we started talking, and I'm like,
Yeah.
she's like, I go, "I didn't know you did this." She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's it's good money, blah blah blah." And full on conversation with her, and then I'm like, "Oh, what do you, how many days a week do you work?" And she's like, because now I'm thinking, okay. So she's like, "Oh, I work, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, whatever it was." So I'm like, all right, well, I think I know what I'm doing in 2 days, So first time I ever did this, and last time I ever did this, it was like literally like a week later. I went out by myself.
Ooh.
And I went to the club. I went to the club, and she was up there, and I was like,
You went for the buffet.
I don't know what I was thinking, but the best is this though. She's like, she came down after the, I gave her a few dollar bills, whatever. Came down, I bought her a drink, and she's like, this is a little weird because like I know you. I'm like, yeah, let's go get a dance. I didn't even hesitate, and she's like, what? I go, let's get a dance.
Wow.
And she went full topless on me, and then I never went back.
Holy cow!
I don't know why. I was like, I don't know. Part
Ballsy.
of me, I don't know. Part of me was like, maybe I got a shot with this girl. But then, then in my head, I was like, what am I thinking? And I'm like, then I was like, wait a second. Then as she's giving me the lap dance, I'm like, I went out to a strip club by myself. I'm like, I'm the creepy guy. And then I was like,
which is sudden interruption. Which is worse, going to the strip club by yourself? Or going to the old nudie booths by yourself?
well, considering I never went to a nudie, well,
The ones in the city.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually have a very funny story about that, and I'm going to be throwing some people I'll name nameless under the bus for this one. But
Actually, I knew someone who was a jizz mopper.
oh, that's disgusting. I feel sorry for that person. I really do.
And that is the God honest truth.
Oh, that is just wrong.
Hey, listen, you got to make a buck sometimes.
Yeesh.
Look, the smell of bleach was terrible.
To answer your question, what's worse? Obviously, the nudie window bar, whatever.
Yeah.
Nudie. What'd you call it?
Nudie booth. Oh, well.
Okay, so it's funny you brought that up because I was out with a bunch of my fraternity brothers one night. It was a Ranger Islander game at the Garden, and I don't remember who won. Not important, but it was my first Ranger game, first live Ranger.
Oh,
game.
wow, really?
Yeah, and we were all in the city, and it was probably about, I would say it was probably a group of 15 of us, 15 to 16. There was a large group of us, and the game ends. We're in the city. Nobody wants to go home, So we're all wearing we all got hockey jerseys on, And my buddy goes, "Let's go. Let's just start walking around." And we walk down some side street on I don't know, it was like 38th Street or something, wherever, some place near the Garden.
On the other side where you go in for Penn Station.
Yeah, but it was close. I think
It's
close
next to the McDonald's.
I don't know. I don't remember. It was as many years ago. But it was on a side street,
Down the
and
block
it was
from Manhattan
closer
Center.
to West Side Highway.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, we like, oh, let's go in here. Let's go in here. My friend goes, they got nudie booths in here. Let's go. So we go in, and this guy, I'm not going to name his name. We walk in, and it was like a scene out of like one of those like late 80s, early 90s movies when you walk in and somebody just drops something, We walk in, and meanwhile, there's like 15 or 16 of us. Maybe at this point there was a dozen of us, maybe a few people left or whatever, but large group. And my buddy walks right into a display case of movies, and the whole thing just like comes crashing down. It's like, what a way to make an entrance, right? So right away, the owner of this place sees cha-ching. He goes, "Okay, guys, I'm going to take care of all of you guys." He goes, we got, two to a booth.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. So
You don't normally want to do two to the
no,
booth.
no, right, but I'd never been in one of these things
Okay.
before. So we
Like, why is there a slot there?
no, well, so now you go in and whatever we paid, I think it might have been like $5 a head at that
Yeah.
or $10 a head. Whoosh, this window opens up, right? But there's no glass. This window is I could put my hand through it.
Really?
Oh yeah, this was full on.
Wow.
Like I could touch
Wow.
body parts.
I didn't
okay?
Wow.
So I'm in there with one of my friends, and now the room or the stage that's behind, it's a semicircle. So I look out and I could see my idiot friends sticking their heads out through the other window. Okay, so oh god, I don't even know who's listening to this. It gets so much better. so there's a bunch of girls out on the stage, and whoosh, the window's shut. We're like, ah! So it's like,
You
like
put $1 in? You gotta put more money.
You had to put more money.
Yeah.
We didn't know. We're getting raped for money. So me and my buddy were like, all right, we're alternating, whatever. It's like dollar,
Yeah.
and we're watching everyone's. We hear through the fuck, get $1, fuck, and we're watching the windows just pop open and up and down, up and down, up and down. And also this fucking girl has got this fucking dildo, okay, and she's ramming it inside of her.
Whoa.
Wow. And we're like, yeah, do it, you fucking. I'm like grabbing a tit, and we're all fucking, we're animals, okay? We're half of us are drunk,
Yeah.
okay? And all of a sudden, she takes it out of her, her chotch.
Yeah.
And I look over, and she just slaps my friend in the face with it. Not in my booth, in the booth. And he's like, he was a big guy. All you hear is, no! Like, like in slow motion, like when like someone's breaking through a wall, the Kool-Aid Man, and you just feel the whole room shaking, and he's like, dude, oh fuck, I gotta bleach my face. He's like, and she whacked him in the, right across the cheek with it. Okay, we all were dying. We laughed so hard. We all were falling out of the booth. Like we just ran out of the place, because at this point all the windows shut. We're like that's it. And as we left, we're just like knocking shit over. And they must have got us for like probably, I would say, $30-$40 each.
Wow, there you go.
We were idiots. Okay,
Yep.
But that story, it was probably one. And I remember I got home. I was on the train with my buddy, and it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta walk my dog. I'm like, I completely forgot my dog's probably shitting all over my house. I'm like, I gotta get home. And he's like, let's go to a diner. I'm like, dude, if I'm not home before the sun gets up, I'm screwed. I'm like, I will not be able to function. I was like, screw this. And I remember I dropped him. When we got back to Brooklyn, I got my car because I parked. I was in Bensonhurst, parked somewhere not too far from like the N train or something, and keeping it local,
Of course.
And for any of our friends who are out of New York, I know we have a listener from Michigan who voted on our poll. Thank you. And we also have some overseas guys who I know were listening.
Oh wow! Yes, that's true.
Yes. Thank you for the support. But we went home, and then like my dog was like, "Where the fuck were you, man? I gotta go." Good boy, he didn't pee in the house, so I took him for a walk. As I'm taking him for a walk, the sun is peeking over and I'm like, I gotta go to bed.
I was at a club. We go out, and at night we head out. Like, all right, having a good time. Everyone's doing their thing.
All right.
And then I find after a couple of dances with a couple of Spanish chicks, I was like, all right, we'll take it. I found this short-haired, blonde Louisiana girl.
Short-haired, blonde Louisiana girl.
Oh, my God. Best-looking thing in the building. It was amazing. So, of course, she starts talking to me. And, of course, I'm like, hello, how are you? So we're talking couple dances out, in the main room. And then she's like, well, we can go in the back in the VIP room. I was like, all right, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have cash. I'm kind of broke. That's when she said the 4 words no one ever wants to hear at a strip club or a gentleman's club. We accept credit cards. Game over, Johnny. It was done.
They'll be discreetly billed as.
Honestly, I thought it was just a regular charge. It ended up being a cash advance. How long it took me to pay that off? Fucking hell.
Yeah.
So,
you live, you learn.
I had to buy 2 drinks. It was like a 2-drink minimum. Like, okay.
$20 a drink.
So, well, she goes, you can buy me a drink. I'm like, oh.
Was this Scores?
No, it was somewhere else. Outside of New York. And she goes, you can buy me a drink. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's easy. So there's my 2 drinks. So, of course, I'm like, let me just get, a Jack Daniels, whatever thing. It's like, all right. And then I'm like, what do you want? She goes, gin and tonic. It's like, okay, gin and tonic. So they come back, and the regular waitress goes, all right, you need to order a second drink. I'm like, what are you talking about? I got hers. She goes, hers don't count.
Silly boy.
Pretty much. I was like, oh. So we're in the room. I must have paid for about an hour and a half of dances. Because she was just doing her thing, but we were having a normal conversation.
Oh God, you were like, hold on, let me get the hook out of your mouth. No, really.
Dude. So she's dancing, she's grinding on me, and then a song would come on, and then she'd just stop. She'd be like, "Oh, I like this song. The lead singer was part of this band, and then part of this band.
That's the last thing I want is a stripper to talk.
So I'm like, what's going on here?
What's going on? So you're being charged.
So the most polite way of me to say, look, I get it, she gets it. In all reality, we're there for one thing, both of us. So I can do the only most polite thing I can do at that moment when I want a stripper to continue dancing on me. I kind of nudged her with my pelvis. I kind of just like, can you move? Like, not even like a tap on the shoulder. Excuse me.
Oh, God.
So, talking about with the sun, S-U-N. So, finally, everything's done. I'm out of money. Songs are over. Her shift is done. And then for some reason, her accent changed, but whatever. So, I'm walking out.
She's a good actress. She's a dancer.
So, prelude to that, everyone else started to leave for the night, all my friends. And as I'm getting dragged into the VIP room, they're all leaving. So one of my buddies goes, hey, are you coming with us back to the hotel? And literally, I'm getting dragged back into the room, I'm like, I'll see you later. Like, I'm just gone.
Go on without me.
So the night goes on, and then, all right, I'm like, I got to go back because we're leaving in a little while. Like, literally in a few hours, we're leaving this place. I don't want to get too detailed just in case. The doors open, the doorman opens, like, have a good day, sir. And just fucking bright light hits me.
That's never
the
a good
sun
thing.
Was up and was working for hours already.
Never a good thing.
Was shocked. I'm like, what the hell is that? The guy's like, that's the sun. Yeah.
The big middle one is the sun.
And I had no money for a cab. I ended up walking back to the hotel. It was a rough
irresponsibility. Was a good
evening.
Thing.
But that was that girl.
Have you ever been to a strip club? I didn't
forever.
think we were going to be talking about strip clubs today.
This works. Listen, after the March Babeness, why not?
Have you ever gone to a strip club where the girls are just, how can I put it, hideous?
Kind of like
or old,
like on a Tuesday afternoon.
No, I remember
old. Yes. Well, we were at a friend's bachelor party in Staten Island.
Okay.
And I remember there was a woman who most likely opened the establishment in probably the late 60s, early 70s. And she was still there.
They called her like Miss Rosetta.
Yeah. And she'd just be sitting in the corner. Every now and again, she would start to walk towards someone. And then she'd be like, no. And then she'd be like,
Nana, sit down.
So she would just turn back around and sit down again. She
was
was a go-getter.
What was she wearing?
It was at what, bachelor party?
I don't.
Were you there actually? Maybe you weren't there.
I might not have been there.
That may not have been the one you were there for. I'm sorry.
There's a place in Brooklyn. It's on, I want to say 4th or 5th Avenue in, I don't know the neighborhood. You know where the Gowanus is?
Yeah.
You know where Wild Wild West is?
No.
Okay, well, there's a strip club called Wild Wild West. I'm not talking about that strip club. This strip
club,
their
rival.
I wish I could.
Crazy East.
No. I really wish I could remember the name of it, but it's literally like a storefront. Okay, and you walked in and you paid the guy behind the, big giant plexiglass screen. And I remember we
$5,
and my buddy paid, and he had the car. So I had no choice, but because I looked at him like, dude, no, because I saw what was on stage. what was on stage was
Fresh bullet wounds.
there was definitely some sort of appendix scar or something, but she was probably in her 40s.
Ooh.
She looked like a Spanish version of, remember from that 70s show, The Mother?
Oh.
like a Latina version of that.
Ooh, wow. That's a
Kitty. Like a Latina.
Kitty.
El Kitty. That's what she, okay. Like,
El Gato.
the only thing missing were the tassels and the stogie sticking out of her mouth, you know? And I'm like,
$20.
and I'm like, listen, I go to my buddy, I'm like, what's the deal here? He goes, 2-drink minimum. I'm like, 2 beers now? I'm like, now. 2
races, por favor.
2 Coors Lights now. I'm like, all right, let's go. I don't even think I lasted 2 songs in that place. I'm like, get me the hell out of here before we get killed.
Yeah, those are rough. I was one time when I went to Vegas.
Never been.
First time I went to Vegas. I was in Vegas
never
3
been
times.
to Vegas.
First time I went, we stayed like a week. It was a little too long, but I got bored one night, and only because my friend.
How do you get bored in Vegas?
No. What happened was my buddy he went to bed early. He just wasn't feeling good that night. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep yet. It's like 10:30. So I'm like, let me walk around by myself in Las Vegas. So I'm walking up and down the strip.
Hey, honey, want a date?
No, it wasn't like that, but...
Hey, honey, want a date? Yes.
What happens in Vegas? Well, I was in Vegas. Separate note, on a different trip, I was technically in Vegas by myself for 13 hours.
Did you go on your damn tour?
Is that a goddamn?
No, a damn tour. I'm your damn guide.
Yeah, I know.
You're the worst.
Beavis and Butthead?
No.
I know, but I'm quoting Beavis and
Vegas
Butthead.
Vacation.
Oh, see, I went to Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Oh, of course. They lose in fucking overtime. This team sucks ass.
So I'm walking around the strip. I'm like, all right, let me just see what Vegas is all about. It's gorgeous, bright lights. You know, not the Venetian, the Bellagio with the water fountain and everything. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So I get to a corner, red light. All right, waiting for the cross signal. A group of guys showed up, looked like some sort of college or fraternity or whatever. They were just nothing, no problems. Then all of a sudden, this car pulls up to the red light.
Get in.
And then no, and then it was like a Chinese fire drill with these 4 blondes who get out the back of the car.
4 blondes or 4 non-blondes?
Hey,
what's going on?
And I said, hey, wait, wasn't that the Eurythmics?
That was 4 non-blondes, even though it was one girl with dreadlocks who was not blonde.
When I wake in the morning.
And I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high. We've been singing a lot in this podcast.
Not the Eurythmics. Who am I thinking of?
4 non-blondes. Dude, I'm right. Just continue with your story.
So these 4 blondes without a stitch of clothing on them get out of the car, run around the car. And then when the light turns green, they all go right back in the back of the car, and the car takes off.
Daughter.
So this happens. The car takes off. Car's gone. I turned to all of us. It was about 4 or 5 guys just standing on the corner. We look at each other going, that was fantastic. That was Vegas for you. So I'm walking up again, walking down the strip. And then finally, don't ask me why this happened. I decide to be like, you know what? Let's see what's a little bit further out. So I get on a bus. I get on a bus in Vegas, and the bus just goes. And I kind of zone out. It was a public bus.
Oh, God.
Public bus.
Did you end up in Utah?
Hold on. Next thing I know, we're literally in the middle of the desert. The only building in sight, which was not a stop, but I had to ask the bus driver because I go, where are we going? And he actually said to me, oh, I was going back to the depot, but you're still on the bus. I must have fell asleep or something on the bus.
Oh, you're a clod.
So he lets me off at the McDonald's, which is the only building in sight. So I'm like, where am I? I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. So I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I see some lights down the road. I'm like, that's got to be it. So now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning in a desert, and I'm walking back to Vegas by myself. Walking.
And then Larry has a chainsaw in the background.
That was a long evening, but with the same trip.
Did you see the 3 o'clock in the morning, so it's dark. Did you see the lights of Vegas over yonder?
I did. It must have been like a mile or something. It was a while.
How the?
I
No
must
one.
have
Was
fell asleep
anyone
on the bus.
concerned that you were missing?
No.
Was this pre-cell phone?
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of holes, Henry, out in the desert there. You know what I'm saying?
So same trip. Downstairs, I'm playing. You know, it was late at night, so I'm like, let me just. You know, I'm playing the nickel slots. No big deal. Just playing some games, and I won like a good amount of money on it because I was spending some time. So every time I'd win, I'd hit. You know, the buzzer goes off, and at one point I hit for like $250. I'm like, oh sweet, this is pretty cool. So I'm just kind of killing time. I look off to the side, and there's a bar not too far off to the side, and I see these two very attractive women who see me. I'm like, all right, okay. I didn't think anything of it. Still playing. Buzzer goes off every now and again. Look over, and every time they hear the buzzer,
like, wow, nickel slots guy.
Hold on, they kind of turn, and they're like, all right. So now in my head, I'm going, wait a minute, those aren't just patrons.
No,
they may be
they're on the
professionals.
job.
So as I'm still playing, all of a sudden they start to walk over, and I'm like, now in my head, the fantasy is now just running rampant in my head. So I'm like, wait a minute. These two women are starting to come over. I'm in Vegas. I'm putting 2 and 2 together. And I think I have some money. But my buddy's up in the room already. So, and I know he's not going to tolerate that. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? How do I do this? How am I going to have this happen? Wait a minute. Is this even going to happen? What is going on right now?
And how much money can I get out of the ATM machine?
All of this is going through my head. As these two women finally start to, and they get close to me, not to the point where we're talking, but they get close to me, that's when one of them literally looks at me and then looks up and sees the giant 5-cent sign on the top of the machine. She goes to her friend, stops her friend.
Oh my God.
And they just turn around
and
they just go somewhere else.
Oh God, hey, I just won $28, ladies.
And I went,
oh my God,
that's about right.
That's horrible.
That's about right.
Hose.
Oh man, I miss Vegas. I got to go back.
I've never been to Vegas.
I've been to 3 times.
I need to go.
Do not stay at Circus.
Well, it's the cheapest hotel in the world,
and it smells like a circus.
It's the cheapest hotel in the world.
Better off staying at the.
You know who goes to Circus? You.
Hey, listen, wasn't my
choice. I would stay at the Borgata.
Wasn't my choice.
Well,
Borgata,
not the Borgata. No, what's the nice
Bellagio.
one? Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I've been to
what? It was a duck. There's a lot of ducks outside.
Speaking of ducks, how about that
smelly duck?
How about that March babeness?
Okay, March Babeness. Yeah, well, March Babeness is doing fine and well.
Leah Thompson.
Oh, Howard the Duck. I see what you did there. You went a long way for that. You went a long way for that. That was a roundabout way. Yeah. But, yeah, well, March Babeness is doing good. The votes are coming in. We had to record a week early because Larry's going out of town.
I'm going to New Orleans.
So, and I'm not asking Larry to get me anything. You always say, I ask you to get, oh, you smelling my fart? It doesn't smell that bad.
No, it was a quick kind of like,
yeah,
it was like a quick
there was
jab, and it kept moving.
I had some broccoli in my pasta. Oh. So as you know, the two finalists, if you listen to last episode, the two finalists are Leah Thompson and Pam Anderson.
I thought the breakdown of the brackets was we did a very good bracketology.
Yes, we did a good bracketology.
I want to do it
now. My question is, does the winner of this year get a bye for next year?
Oh, I didn't even think of putting her back in next year because I figured it'd be a different topic.
Well, what do you mean it'd be there? It would still be babes.
Yeah, but this one was specifically from like our childhood, from the 80s and 90s.
Well, I think the winner should get a bye, no matter, regardless of
if she's in. Oh, you mean in other words, she's just automatically in whatever tournament
she's automatically in the next tournament.
Well, all right, we can do that.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. We have a year. So,
but I want to do another one so bad.
Okay, well, we could do
another. Doesn't have to be women, doesn't have to be babes, but we
could do other things. We could do brackets for other things.
I listen to it. I have to listen to it because I edit it. And not only that, I just listen to it in general because I enjoy listening.
I do hate the way I sound.
I love how I sound. I can listen to myself.
Well, you
all
sound
day,
like you want to be
day.
Ed McMahon sometimes, and it drives me nuts. But so you go, hey-oh.
Why be Ed McMahon when I can be Johnny Carson?
Well, I tell you, Larry, that is just some wild, wacky stuff. Wild stuff. Do you believe that? Do you believe?
I can't believe you just pulled a Johnny Carson out
Well,
of your
let me
ass.
tell you something else, Larry. I just want to say one thing. This is fantastic. That's all I got. That's all I got. Anyway, as I was saying, Leah Thompson with the slight lead over Pam Anderson, 58% to 42%. There's still a couple of days left on this poll.
As of when this drops, I think it'll be like another week.
And then we'll keep voting. The listeners, the vote's up to you. Larry and I have cast our votes, but the votes are up to you. So
and listen to last week, and you'll hear our breakdown. We had some good stuff.
Yes, we had good reasonings.
We had some sleeper victories.
Still a little upset about the whole Debbie Gibson, Susanna Hoffs thing.
Really?
Well, if you read my Facebook post, 99% of the people were Hoffs, all about the Hoffs. Except one person threw Tiffany in there because I think she posed nude for Playboy.
She did.
She
so
did.
did Debbie Gibson.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Susanna Hoffs didn't, which makes her respectable. And Susanna Hoffs is like 69 years old or something.
Yeah, right?
She's like pushing 70.
You know who disappointed me when we did that? Because at some point, like, look, just so people don't think we're just pigs. I mean, we kind of are.
Yeah. So what? Who cares?
You know,
listen, this might not be the podcast for you. Okay?
Probably not. Like, to me, to be a babe is not just looks, sexuality. It's just also, like, funny, down to earth. Listen, make them laugh, make them breakfast. So, you gotta, you have to roll with it. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
That's all right. Anyway, vote often. Well, you vote often. You can only vote once, but vote. And share it and let other people vote. Okay, so we're gonna let you guys decide this. So this is you're gonna control the future here, people.
The future.
The future. So that's that. It's funny. I really wasn't expecting to talk about strip clubs because I had a few dating stories of bad first dates. You have any that you could think of or no? Because I think I might have one more. One that might not be suitable.
I haven't. I mean, I don't know. I really never went on dates. It's like, in college, I had, the Greek. We, just kind of hit it off. We never really went on formal dates.
Yeah, because I think it was more a lot of like group settings. I know in college we went out a lot of group settings.
Yeah. So it really wasn't any of that.
But group settings.
Just want to make sure we punctuate that.
I'm a moron. Sometimes I really am stupid. I have it's not really a first date. I don't know if you can consider this a one night stand. What's your definition of a one night stand? Is it a total stranger you hook up with and you don't see again? Is that could be a definition of it?
I would say yes, because you don't really plan on seeing that person again.
Right.
Whereas if you just bang with a friend, that's just bumping uglies.
Well, you're going to see that person again. But like a one-night stand could also be, let's say you work with someone and you hook up one night and then you just don't date. You don't date her. You don't have sex again. That's a one-night stand.
So, in other words, having sex with someone who's not your friend.
Well, I mean, I guess you could have sex, a one-night stand with a friend.
People, what do you think?
Okay, well, maybe we'll do another vote. But anyway, so I met this girl online. Okay,
this is a one night stand.
Well, I'm not sure if it's considered a one night stand. Met this girl online, and I lived in Brooklyn. She lived in Long Island, and I don't know. Like, she sent me a picture of her. She wasn't bad looking, a little chunky. But again, I'm not exactly an 8 at 10, So
or 5.
Hey, I'm more like a 6.5, 6.8 tops. On a good
now
day.
You're looking good.
Thank you, Larry.
Back then,
maybe I'm like back then maybe I was maybe a 5.5.
Yeah, no, but you look good now.
I think I'm a 7.
Yeah, I would say you're a 7.
I've aged gracefully.
You have.
I have a little gray.
That's okay.
A little gray.
It's okay.
So
nothing.
What you want me to tell you? I'm not gonna. You're like at your worst you were a 4. At your best, I've seen you sometimes. You could be a 6.5.
Oh wow!
Hey, listen, I only went 7, so I'm not saying I'm an 8. Okay. Anyway,
the truth is out there. Go ahead.
I love. I love
I know.
like a brother.
Of course.
So we spoke online a few times. We spoke on the phone a few times. And my birthday was coming up.
Oh.
And I think it was actually the night of my birthday.
Whoa, all right.
She's like, come out to Long Island for your birthday, and I'll make you a nice dinner.
Oh.
And I'm like, we'll just hang out. No pressure.
Not expecting anything. Okay.
And she's like, and look, she's like, listen, if you want to stay the night, you can stay the night. I know it's a long drive back for you, so whatever. I was like, in my single mind, I'm like, yeah, duh, No, like it. She sent me a picture.
Score.
Sent me a picture. Not bad looking. Okay. I get to her apartment, and she had like it was like a basement apartment. No, it was not really a basement. I don't have like her door to her apartment were like those double doors you would go to out to a backyard.
Ooh,
like that was her. It was like
right.
weird the way the house was set up. Like the house was like a 3-story house. She had one floor.
Okay.
Get in, and she's as wide as she is short.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
That picture was extremely deceiving. But again, not a bad face.
Yeah.
Just not what I expected.
Yeah.
And she had one eye that went all the way to the left.
Whoa.
Like eyeball.
Oh, boy.
Okay. And one that looked straight ahead. And it was... I was like, okay.
You had to double bag it, one on her face and one on...
I'm like, okay, so like, obviously I'm like, okay, Frank, in my head, I'm like, all right, Frank, you're in this situation now.
Don't let her down.
You first of all, A, your options are limited at this point in your life, okay? B, you came prepared if things, and C, there's a steak dinner involved here, okay? And I see this giant fucking like porterhouse steak.
Wow.
Okay? And she's like, listen, she's like, I have no expectations about anything tonight. She's like, but whatever happens, happens. And I'm like...
halfway through the steak. I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, I'm eating. Is that potatoes? So she's like, just relax, whatever. She's like, it's your birthday. She's like, we've been talking... I've been talking to this girl for like a month. Okay, on the phone and online.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's considered a one-night stand. Anyway, whatever. So I have the steak. We have, a few drinks. We're watching a little TV, and she's getting all cozy on me.
Oh, boy.
And I'm not attracted to her at all. And
just nothing's happening.
I'm just not physically attracted to this girl. Okay,
all right, it happens.
But part of me's like, you're a dick because I feel hard because I'm like, I know Frank Jr.'s has a mind of his own, and he's been alone.
Okay.
So she literally starts taking like the initiative.
Okay.
And one thing leads to another, and I'm now being led to her room.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And she has a waterbed.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Now, I never had sex on a waterbed. Okay.
Let alone probably been in one.
So you're like trying to get... Yeah, I literally was never in one. Okay.
Like, where's the ladder? How do I get in this?
I'm like, ah.
Do I have to go in backwards?
And let me tell you, that's not really easy to...
I can imagine not.
To get
negotiate.
a rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you have to time it with the...
Yes. It's not easy. Okay. So things are happening, and I can't get into the rhythm of the water, and I'm not attracted to... Wait, I'm not attracted to her, and... Frank Jr. does not want to show up. So I'm like, part of me's like, thanks, little buddy. Excuse me. Thanks, buddy.
What?
So, I just got to put that out there. So, and I'm like, now in my head, I'm all fucked up in my head because my head's like, you can't get it up. What the fuck's wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you? This naked girl. Okay, she's not the prettiest girl in the world, but
God, been there, done that.
Right. But I'm also like, this is your out. This is your out. This is your out. You could leave. Yeah. This is your out. So I'm like, I get all fake angry. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I'm sorry. I say, I don't know what's going on. And I go, I need to take a shower. Okay. Because I was just
and then she starts to rifle through your wallet.
No. So I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, the funny thing is that she was like going to school at the time to like be a teacher. So I'm like, she's teaching some children now. So I go in the shower, okay, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, okay, how do I get out of this house? Now I got to get out of here because A, I don't want to use this girl because I'm not that type of person. Yeah. B, I want to get laid. Yeah. C, I can't because I can't get it up because I'm not attracted to this girl. Yeah. And D, that was a good steak.
Like, honestly, like a small gust of wind could get it going sometimes.
Dude,
and
a Bally's commercial could come on
honestly.
nowadays, and I'm like, Steph, let's go. You know, so, you know.
It's weird at the times when you want to be like, look,
Dude, I was single for almost 2 years at this point, okay? So
listen, it's happened to all of us.
Wait, no, the story's not over. So, all of a sudden, the door of the shower opens up.
Wow. The balls on her.
This girl she wanted to get laid, this girl. So she's like, she's like, get over here now. So
puts the lotion in the back.
Yeah, right. But I don't even know if that movie came out at that point, but whatever. So she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, I was like, I'm like, yeah, Clarice. I mean, we're here. So I was like, oh, I could do a good Buffalo Bill impression.
I know.
So, and she starts, working magic on me.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And, yeah, I don't know if it was the water, but she was like, I was good to go.
Oh,
and
good.
she just, but condoms were in the other room. I wasn't going on bag. So I'm like, I need, I'm like, she's like, don't worry. She goes, she runs out of the room, runs back, runs out of the room, boom, puts it on. I didn't lose. And,
wow.
And she just went, she took over, and I was like, oh, okay, wait. So, boom, it's done. I'm like, oh, good. I'm like, now, I was younger then. I could normally go more than once. Yeah. Now, now I'm a little bit older, but whatever. So, I'm like, oh, that's great. Good night. And I literally just we go to bed. Wake up in the morning. We go to breakfast at a diner. And I'm just like, I got to get out of here. I'm like,
oh, that's rough.
She gives me a birthday present. Because it's my birthday now.
Like a legit one, not a,
she gave me a hardcover book because
wow.
I like to read. And we were talking about a book. I was like, oh, this book's coming out. She got me the book. I still have the book. It's in my bookcase.
That's weird.
Well, it's in my bookcase. Okay. I wonder if she wrote in it. I never looked. So I go look tonight.
Probably a photo in there.
Yeah, right? So we went to the diner, drove it back to her apartment. I took off like a bat out of hell. And then I was like, okay, I'm obviously not going to see her again, And I felt like shit because I'm like, I know I just used this girl for a one-night stand. But in the same breath,
I wouldn't say you did. I think she used you.
I know. I felt a little used. I'm not going to lie.
I wish
no,
I was used.
Wait. So then I'm glad I got out of that because we had like one or two more phone calls, and then it was like, well, I made an excuse not to see her. I had work, and most of the excuses were legitimate. And then I slowly was just breaking.
And then one day.
Yes.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
What?
Well, it started with the phone calls. You think you could just use me? And I'm like, listen, I go, you initiated everything that night. I go, what happened. I was obviously not into it. I'm like, because now I'm on the defense, And she's a pig. I don't know how she got my address. Okay, I lived at home. I lived at home with my mother.
And you never gave her your address?
Never gave her my address.
Like for exchanging cards or anything?
Never.
Wow.
So she had my phone number. So I don't know.Maybe she was able.
The white pages.
I don't know. Maybe she was able to get it somehow through that. I don't know. But anyway, so she what do you call it? She over the phone. I could tell she's going full blown psycho on me. And I'm like, and I'm like, look, I'm sorry. She's like, I've had other guys do this to me before, and I'm like, right away, I'm like, all right, she's trying to trap guys or whatever, but I said, look, I don't want to use you. I go, if I was to come back out there, I would end up using you for sex, and that's not the kind of person I am. In my head, part of me is like, yeah, I'm trying to rationalize what I did, but in the same breath, it's the truth.
I don't think you did anything wrong.
I had a girlfriend who
at the time.
No. One time, I had a girlfriend I was dating for like 8 months, and I did not want to be with her anymore. And I easily could have used her for sex, and I just broke it off because that's just not me. Yeah. That's just not me. I don't like. I've been cheated on, so I know what it's like. I don't want to use somebody for that because it's. Look, I'm not saying what I did with this girl is morally correct, but whatever. So like I'm like, look, I don't think this is obviously not going anywhere. I don't think it's a good idea we talk anymore. I said, I think you're a little unhinged, and I said,
I think you're a psycho hose beast.
You know, no joke. About a week later, and just so happened nobody was home. I was the only one home.
Wow.
Okay, I think my mom was like in Atlantic City or something or whatever, and I get a phone. I had my old Nokia cell phone, and my phone. She's like, and I'm like, I don't want to say her name, but I'm like, I thought we agreed not to call. She's like, well, you better agree to talk to me because I'm outside your house, and I'm like, excuse me. I go, that's good because I'm not home. I'm like, and she's like, what do you mean not home? I go, she goes, I see your car, and I had my Explorer.
Okay.
Now my Explorer you couldn't miss because I had the, what do you call it? I had it was that big Hunter Green Explorer with a flag on the back, so
Ooh, nice.
So and I had a very distinct dent on one of my on my back, the door.
Yeah.
Of the, like you could, it's like someone hit it with a bat before I bought it. So, so he's like, I see your Explorer right now. Now I'm thinking, fuck, she's gonna key my car. I'm like, now I'm in my apartment. I'm looking out at her. Double park next to my car.
On another phone dialing 911.
Yeah, like she and I'm like, well, I'm not home. She's like, well, I see you. I go, well, I'm out with my friend. He picked me up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was like, yeah, I'll talk to you later. I was like, no, hold on, I'm on the phone. I'm talking like doing my voice, like, are you coming out? Do I have some pudding? No, Fred, I'm not coming out. No, I'm on the phone with this girl. Okay. I'll be with Camille. So so I was alone, but I'm like, okay, do I, from the house line, do I call the cops? I'm like, what do I do? And I'm just trying to talk. I'm like, look, I go, I'm not gonna be home for a couple hours, so if I was you, I'd probably just go back home. I said, I don't think this is a cool idea. I go, honestly, I don't think it's cool that you did that. I go, I don't know how you got my address, whatever. And she's like, you think you could use me? I'm like, no, I don't. I don't think I could use you. I go, I'm a dick, and I'm like, I'm a jerk. I'm such a.
You're crying.
You should never. And I'm like locking the doors, and I'm putting up, knocking, like putting 2x4s over the window, and then and she's like, prove to me you're with your friend, and I'm like, okay, here's my friend Donald. Frank, we gotta go. We got things to do, Frank. And she's like, I don't believe that's him. And I'm like, no. So
I can't be the future president.
So and then she ended up like literally a half an hour on the phone, and I'm looking out the window at her, and I'm like behind the curtains, and I'm like, and she, and I'm
no other man behind the curtain.
Well, because my house was two family,
yeah.
So she didn't know if I was upstairs or downstairs.
Gotcha.
So and she never came up to the house, like she didn't ring the bell or anything, but she was double parked by my car. And I'm like, okay, she's fucking psycho. And then after that, like, she called me like 2 more times, and then that was that. I never heard from her again.
That's good.
Every now and then, I look on social media for her,
really,
just to see, like, if she's like, been like arrested for murder. So she's got somebody rubbing lotion on their skin in the basket, and
I can't look up exes.
No, it's not even X.
No, I'm just saying.
So.
But to go back to the original question, I don't think you didn't do a thing wrong, in my opinion.
I don't necessarily agree with you on that.
I get it. You were there. I wasn't. I'm just hearing what you're saying.
The waterbed really threw me off.
I mean, well, if you would have gotten it right, the waterbed would have done the work for you.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably what it was. It was part of me not being attracted to her,
and then getting seasick,
and then the motion of the ocean. It was like it was confusing. But boy, that steak was good.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think you did anything wrong. Sometimes things can get misconstrued. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody. So,
okay.
I was gonna say, especially at the point where, you went to take a shower and kind of you contemplate, and then she came in, to initiate everything. So, I don't think it was your fault, Frank. It's okay.
No, I know. I know it's okay.
No. It's okay.
I get it. I see what you're doing. It's okay. No,
it's okay.
No, I know it's okay. Okay.
It's okay.
I know.
Come here. Do you need a hug?
By the way, you screwed up the line. It's not your fault.
No, I know. I wasn't. I didn't want to.
No, it's good. No, it's good. That was good improv. I like that.
Yeah,
Speaking of improv.
Oh, yes. I meant to ask you about that. So, folks, here's what's happening. Frank decided to go behind my back.
Behind your back? How dare you, sir?
And sign up for stuff without consulting me to try and do this as a team. So clearly Frank is trying to start his own podcast.
No, my hero Adam Carolla said everyone should take up an improv class.
Correct.
Okay.
And the text message you sent me was, "Hey, I signed up for an improv class."
Right. I didn't think you wanted to do it.
We've talked about doing it.
But you never really would, like, you know.
Because I was waiting for you to...
Here's the deal. My wife got her bonus, okay? And she's like, what do you want? Like, when I get my Christmas tips, I buy her something. When she gets a bonus, she buys me something.
It's weird, but okay.
No. It's just like, you know, I take my Christmas tip money and, you know, I buy myself something with it, and I usually get her get her a nice gift.
I thought,
and then the rest, like the money goes to, like, you know,
charity.
either not the charity, well, my charity, me, you know, like I'll buy my kids something. Usually I get around Christmas, so I'll put some of the money towards Christmas.
I get it,
whatever.
I get it, yeah.
She gets a, you know,
There's
substantial.
no need to justify it.
Well, no, whatever. So she's like, "What do you want?" I go, honestly, I want improv classes. So of course, I go to order them. She's like, just put your credit card in. They only take PayPal.
There you go.
So
okay.
I have a PayPal account. So I had to pay for my own improv classes. I'm still waiting for her to give me the money. So, but regardless, so whatever. I might take them again because there's different tiered classes. So we could take. But the thing is, the whole thing with improv, we're not supposed to, like, we know each other. We're going to act differently.
That's true.
This is what. So I was saying, it'd be great to do it, but I think you should. I think you should do it. So anyway, it's 5 classes for $125.
Not bad.
For 5 classes, that's great.
I mean, the timing would have been bad anyway for me because I'm going away. So
well, yeah, that's just the thing. It's a Sunday. It's like for 2 hours, at like 2:00 in the afternoon. At some, I'm sure it's at some church basement in Freeport or whatever. I spoke to the guy. I read the reviews. It seems like a different, and I'll plug the show once I start taking the classes. So, but like I said, I listen to podcasts all day, and you know, like I said, I'm big fan of Adam Carolla, and he's always saying, and he has the #1 podcast in history, you know, over a million downloads. I mean, so
we all have that one podcast that gets us in.
The
one that did me.
Said no matter what, and not even if you're in the entertainment business, even if you're a businessman, you know, just take an improv class because it could help you in meetings, it could help you in social aspects, you know. And I'm going to do it. And you know what? If I like it and if it's good, I'm going to take the second tier. You know.
Okay.
You know, and I know that, you know, the first rule of, you know, improv is
no.
yes and.
Yeah.
You know, these are things that what?
Another network member of our family
Choo-choo.
doesn't necessarily, I think, sometimes understand the whole yes and.
Well, that could be one of 2 people, both named Anthony. So, so yeah, I'll keep people updated on that. And again, I'm going to also, interested. At the very least, I mean, I don't know how many like classmates I'm going to have, but I'm sure there's going to be like, well, why do you want to take an improv class?
Don't be starting another fucking podcast.
No. But I'm going to say, well, I have a podcast, and I want to, you know, get my chops, you know, together, and then who knows, we might be able to pick up some listeners, and whoever else is doing it. You know, and like, look, if maybe this guy will be a sponsor. Who knows? I mean,
maybe.
You know, I mean, you know, he's local, but I mean,
that's
you know,
all right. That's how the sponsors work.
You know,
what, you think some sort of irrigation system is not local for some, you know, nationally broadcast?
Yeah,
podcast?
well, I know. I mean, like, well, Corolla's got Geico. You know, I mean, freaking Geico of all, you know. So, oh yeah. Well, by the way, they have some ads that I literally fast forward because they are horrible. I don't know.
I'd rather not talk about this right now.
Okay. Well, you also have ZipRecruiter.
Mangrate. Let's get that
Mangrate, yeah. They have, you know, there's a bunch of them, you know, whatever. You have to hear Bill Burr's
I know,
he does Loot Crate. He goes,
oh, does he?
Oh, it's great. He goes, what the fuck is this? Is this for the nerds? He's like this. He goes. It's just, it's terrible. He goes, I don't know any of this Frodo Hobbit bullshit. It's the funniest thing when he does his ads. But hopefully we'll have ads someday.
Yeah.
And
we already do.
Yeah, I know.
But I know
like, I'm talking about live reads.
But I'm quite curious
like
about
Vito's Deli. That one time he did that. You know,
that's a lot of potato.
That's a lot. Home of the foot-long potato.
There you go.
Potato croquette. Excuse me. Sorry, Vito.
I just imagine a foot-long potato. That'd be awesome.
I'm sure there's one that exists.
Some sour cream on there, some chavs.
3232 Merrick Road. I'm giving a free plug. 3232 Merrick Road, home of the foot-long potato croquette. Tell them that the better half sent you. You get a free what? It was a free side of coleslaw, or
I
potato
think so.
salad or something.
Maybe
Macaroni
potato salad.
I don't
'Cause,
remember.
that's a lot of potato.
That's a lot of starch.
Yeah. You take 2 bites, you're out like a light.
No more.
So I'm quite curious about these improv classes because I'm interested because I would definitely take them, and I get it. I truly get it. Where it's better off if we take separate classes. I completely understand.
The only reason why, and I said I wasn't trying to go behind your back.
Know.
I mean, I just think
I was joking.
I'm just thinking if we went,
improv.
I know. I'm thinking if we went together, we would. I think we wouldn't be natural.
Wouldn't be able to, exactly,
because it's all. I'm going to be.
And we'd already be laughing beforehand. And
Yeah,
stuff like
I know
that.
because you know me. I'll say something that only you know,
and I'll look over. I'm like, look at this asshole.
Yeah,
so.
I know, and I'll say something like Camille, and you'll just lose it.
You'll be the only one laughter in the whole building.
Why does he find that funny? Who's Camille? Does he really think his Donald Trump is that good?
I mean,
it's not.
I mean, look, I consider myself a comedic aficionado, so I feel the necessariness of the classes for me may be beneath me, but I would still like to see what they entail.
Larry, you have a lot. Look, I don't want to. You're such a loser. You have a lot to learn, my friend.
What?
Yes.
I'm very funny. My mother tells me all the time.
Yeah, you're special.
Oh, I got in trouble with that one time. I was in a.
My dentist told me I was special.
I was in a training class one time.
A training
class, and we were just talking about some stuff. We were riffing, whatever, and someone mentioned something like, "Oh, we got a." Very special class going on here, getting on the bus, whatever. I'm like, yeah, the short bus.
You can't say that in corporate America.
Not realizing that the trainer's daughter is handicapped and
I love to make werewolf movies
and does take that bus because as soon as I said, oh yeah, I should be on the short bus,
Larry.
That's when immediately she goes, all right, well, let's not mention that, let's move on. And I was like, oh, I just ruined it for everybody.
So you think you want that raise, do you? Not gonna happen.
So I later apologized. I was like, ooh, I am so sorry.
Larry
about that.
to HR, Larry to HR.
That was a long, long time ago, too. In a job far, far away. I missed that job.
Oh, man. That's...
I was able to score at that last job.
That's
a lot of potato.
Larry, that's a bad one, Larry.
So let us know about the improv, and you people at home, let us know just everything. Let us know about what you think about the podcast.
Yeah, I'm putting you all on notice, fans.
Okay,
you need to respond to us. You need to email us. You need to tweet us. You need to Facebook us. You need to do something because I need to hear from you people. Okay, we have one guy on YouTube who talks to us, Cinnamon73,
yeah,
whatever it is. Okay,
we don't even know his name. That's God.
I know he's from California.
We're sorry.
No, that's fine. I go by. I don't give people's names out. I go by their handles. That's fine.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's more than one of you out there, and I know there's more than one. I want to hear your dating stories. I want to hear your advice. If you're from Beijing, I want to know what dating is like in Beijing.
Ooh.
I want to know what married life is in Beijing. I don't know what that was, but
I meant to. I couldn't get the. That's yeah. No, I can't. It's hard to do that rhythm.
That little Asian stereotype.
There we go. I got it. All right, I nailed it. I got it. Yeah.
Anime.
Yep. Where they just
fuck me, fuck you. Right?
Where just they're reading the news and just guys come over and ejaculate.
Did you say news? That was a good segue, Larry.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's time for some old news.
All right.
So I actually have an article here that comes from. It's funny because it's in the good old New York Post.
Ooh,
but
really?
Can you guess what state this happened
Fake news.
No. Let me read you the title first. Okay. March 27th, 2018. Woman in romantic relationship with brother charged after giving birth. Cops say.
Oh.
Can you guess the state?
I'm going to have to say Alabama.
You are wrong.
Ooh.
I'm going with old trusty Florida again.
Really? I wouldn't expect that
from Florida. What is going on with you?
Wow.
So, a Florida woman
really
reportedly...
Not much to say. You said it all in the caption.
No. I'm going to read this. A Florida woman reportedly in a romantic sexual relationship, quotes unquotes, with her brother was charged after giving birth to his baby.
Ooh. Was the kid born with 4 arms and 3 heads?
I don't know. Pauline Elizabeth Martin, 33, told investigators she and her brother were living as a couple in Groveland when she became pregnant with his child, according to the Orlando Sentinel.
We've been living here for a long time.
Wait, you ready? This story just gets better. I love the Post. Excuse me. Authorities said they began investigating the woman, who is a McDonald's cashier, after the baby was born November 21st with severe medical problems.
Oh, boy, that inbreeding is a real thing, huh? Holy cow.
I tell you what, I love
Boy, all those
I love my sister.
All those categories on that website I go to must be fake.
I don't know what you're talking about. The newborn was immediately transferred to get specialized care at Winnie Palmer Hospital for Children in Orlando.
For children who had siblings banging.
Where genetic testing revealed the parents were related.
Wow. I don't get it. How come in the animal kingdom, dogs and cats of the same litter just bang each other and then have other litters?
Because
meanwhile,
they're
we can't
animals.
Because we can't,
have thumbs.
if we happen to have an attractive sister or cousin or niece.
Creepy, fuck you. You creepy sumbitch.
I should have stopped at sister because I'm an only child.
Yeah, and you don't have any nieces.
No.
Thank God for both. Jesus Christ.
I'm joking, people. I'm joking. I'm trying to have a good time. This is why I need improv classes. Please, go fund me.
No, go fund me. It's $125. You could cough that up. Yeah, I didn't tell you to go buy a freaking 55-inch 4G LED TV. Neither parent completed the information on the baby's birth certificate.
because
already responsible. You can't fill out a piece of paper.
Because they can't read, they can't write, or a little of both?
Well, shuck my corn. Deputies interviewed the mom at her workplace. They come into McDonald's. She's like, "You want fries?" Yeah, we need to talk to you, Pauline.
And while you're at it, can you get a double?
Do you have any of the Szechuan sauce? Wait, so deputies interviewed the mom at her workplace last week, and she allegedly, what does that mean? She allegedly admitted she has been romantically involved with her brother for the past 5 years.
Wow, good for them. That's the Post going, we don't want to be sued.
The siblings reportedly last had sex March 21st. They got that down to a date.
Oh, wow. And
the baby's born in November.
Oh, the news story came out on the 27th. All right, never mind.
Right. She said she was going to end her relationship with her brother because she knows it's wrong.
And he did not give me a good Christmas present.
Wait. This is what I'm confused of. The second charge. Martin was arrested Friday on charges of incest.
Oh, really? That's illegal. Good to know.
And what does this mean? I'll say the whole sentence, and then I'll pause. Martin was arrested Friday on charges of incest and resisting without violence. How is that a charge?
Resisting without... It's got to be something probably like...
I give up.
Cops?
That's a fine.
Yeah, maybe.
How do you're resisting without violence?
I don't know. That is a weird one.
Maybe. Nope, you're not taking me to jail. Nope, no. Verbally resisting? No.
No way, no how. No.
According to court records, she was released the following day from Lake County Jail.
Eyes. I'm not going anywhere.
You can't see me. She pulled the John Cena on them.
Oh,
you can't see. You're under arrest. You can't see me.
Nice. Floor's lava. Floor's lava.
Floor's lava. Jump on the couch. Okay, you ready? So she was released on $3,000 bond. The mom is next scheduled to appear in court April 16th. You ready for this? Here's the closing article. Officials said they plan to speak to her brother, but have been unable to track him down.
Uh-oh.
He's on the run.
Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel.
And here are the tags. You ready? Florida incest siblings.
Shockingly, that's the same thing I put in my search engine.
Yuck. Yucko.
Boy, no, all right. So all kidding aside, that's...
Were there comments on this?
Yeah, probably from the brother.
No.
Run!
Go on without me. Uncle Daddy.
I mean, that's...
Creepy.
I mean, look, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I've been single for a long time. If I had a sister, I just
don't
can't
even talk about this. Why would you even...
I can, because I don't have a sister.
Okay. I'm not listening to this. La 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 la.
Well, very well. Now, if incest is illegal, what I saw the Milton twins do,
Yes, it is illegal. I saw that same video.
but they didn't touch.
And that's
Every
not
time
illegal.
we touch.
No, I've seen videos where twins.
Yeah, no, I've seen those too, but sometimes they're not real.
I know they're not real twins, but no, these were real.
No, yeah, I saw those too.
Is that bad grainy one from Spain?
Yes, when they come in the door. Yeah.
Why do I know that? And why do you know that?
What?
Gross.
What?
Do you ever think porn sites should have like you've watched this one already? Like, you know, like you should like, you know.
Well, I mean, you know what it is, because you tend to have that. You always tend to go back to that same clip.
Yeah,
anyway.
but I'd like to know, like, oh, I've seen that one already, so I don't waste my time when I'm scrolling.
At this point, I just remember the ones that I did. What
confuses me? Why is there a share button?
I was just about to say that.
Oh,
you
sorry,
son of a bitch.
Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Exactly. Cut that out?
No. Because we're like, I would love for all my friends and family to know. You know, I'm watching. Connie D'Amico.
Mom, check this out.
Getting double railed.
Yeah,
so.
I'm watching Stormy Daniels, you know.
Fuck her.
I'm watching Stormy Daniels not wanting her kid to be exposed to anything. What about the gangbang? Really? I mean, you know, all your kid has to do is punch in Stormy is her, I'm sure, her
mom.
Christian name, right?
Oh, of course.
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, it's shocking now all of a sudden, you know, she's back in the limelight where she hasn't been prevalent in the scene. And
I don't believe any of it.
I mean, I'm sure something happened, but...
Don't care.
Oh, no, yeah, neither do I.
Don't care. Clinton got blowjobs in the Oval Office. Kennedy was banging Marilyn Monroe. I'm sure Reagan and everybody else was doing something too.
Well,
you know what? Donald Trump had sex with a stripper before he was married. Don't care. Don't care.
I think he already was married.
Before he was president. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Before he was president. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care either. Okay, I don't.
Very good.
He just.
So Melania's just going to ride it out.
You know what? I don't care. I don't
you.
care. That's between him and his wife. I don't care. The only reason why it was different, I think, from my opinion, and I'm not a political analyst at all, is the fact that Clinton was doing it in the Oval Office.
Yeah, that's
okay
with an intern.
Yeah. You know, she was, you know, whatever. I don't know if she was a paid intern or whatnot, but she was working. Okay, and honestly, I don't care if he was at Trump Tower, if he was at the Hilton, if he was at the Bethpage Motel. I don't care. I don't care.
Was that Donald Trump coming out of the motel?
Was it me? Think you called me red-handed? It wasn't me. Oh, that was Shaggy, right?
Yeah, no, that's interesting. But hey, look, if nowadays a Cuban flag can be considered heritage, and the Confederate flag be known as a racist flag,
yeah, well,
you know,
from what I understand, she bullied. She was one of the. She bullied that kid.
And the other one, fucking, I heard was home.
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
It was.
Right.
I saw those two things, and just if we're talking about obviously little hog Hitler kid from. I'm sorry, I don't. The kid. That kid's got murderer written all over him.
But wasn't he already shown to be like a professional?
He's
like, crisis
like
actor.
I don't know. First of all, I don't believe anything. But the two videos I know you're talking about was one where he said, "I rode on my bike 3 miles." You know, really, that's not a big task. I mean, I'm fat and I could ride on my bike for 3 miles. I walk 9 miles a day. Okay. And there was other one saying he was in like AP Bio or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But that he came back. He went home.
Gotcha.
Which means he had to either ride his bike or walk home and then come back later with his camera because he was, you know, had to record this for historical purposes.
Of course.
That kid's a douche.
Oh, totally.
Okay, look,
Absolutely.
I understand what they went through was rough, and you know, my stepsister has a neighbor I think who died. Okay, but honestly, they
just picked the two representatives to represent this whole thing.
This was a complete failure by the FBI.
Oh yeah,
and everybody else in charge. There were things in place, you know, that could have stopped this many, many times, and it didn't. So I don't want to get political here. This is not a political podcast, but that just you know, we always go off on tangents. And sometimes that leaks in. So
where's my jelly beans?
I actually have some jelly beans in my car.
That's my Reagan.
I had a rough day, so I fell off the wagon and I went to CVS and I bought a thing of jelly beans and it's staying in my car.
It's okay.
No, I know. It's just jelly beans.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the Cadbury mini eggs that are in the other cup holder.
You are a fat fuck.
That's hurtful. Yes, and.
That's the pot calling the kettle black, folks. Don't worry about it.
Well, that's the pot calling the Dutch oven black.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
So, folks,
Fair
listen,
enough.
this is going to, this, I think this episode's drawing to a close, episode 23, of course. Please,
up, people.
Guys, I can't stress it enough. Email us at, our email. Why can I never remember our email?
Because we should have made it something simple.
It is the betterhalfpod@gmail.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you could tweet us. Again, you could tweet us at Mike
BetterHalfPod1.
At BetterHalfPod number 1.
Yes.
You didn't say that.
Yes, I said BetterHalfPod1.
Yes, but not ONE. It's the number 1.
People are aware of that.
Well, obviously on Facebook, facebook.com/BetterHalfPodcast.
Yep.
You could reach me at Mess411.
Yeah, I tweeted you today.
Yes, you did. Yes. Larry as More365 everywhere. We're also on Instagram, the Better Half podcast on Instagram.
Forget about that.
Yeah. And you could slowly watch me go insane with my kitchen remod. And again, on iTunes, 5-star reviews, 5-star everything. Share, rate, review. I can't stress it enough, people. I don't want to deliver mail anymore. That's the reason I'm doing. And you have to judge me as you will.
Let the world know about the Better Half podcast. We will bring this world back together.
We're like wild stallions.
Excellent.
Station. Our podcast can unite the world. We could bring North Korea and South Korea together. Little Rocket Man and Donald Trump holding hands in a field of poppies.
They already are. Since we've started this podcast, he's going to denuclearize himself.
Wow. You could say that, but you can't say literally. Or legitimately.
Now you don't even remember anymore.
I hate you. Legitimately.
Legitimately.
Anything you want to plug, Larry, besides your other 2 podcasts?
Yeah, there's a chick down the block who. By the time this drops, I'm already going to have a lot of my stuff done. But you can go back, check out actually the More of the Same Network Facebook page. That's MOHR. You'll see by
the YouTube page too. Don't forget,
we have a YouTube page.
Your YouTube page.
Well, yeah, that's part of Find Me Everywhere.
Okay, Larry.
You can find the archives where I'm going to have done 2 Wrestling Live Facebooks. One with my friend Brandon Miller, where we talk about all the indie shows that are happening during WrestleMania weekend. And then my buddy Glenn Notaro, who we're going to talk about WrestleMania weekend. So you can check those out. Of course, check out the Retro Gamers and the Yin and the Yang podcast on the More of the Same network. I'm hoping to do more on Facebook and on YouTube now that I'm kind of really going to be kicking us into high gear soon because I'll be back by vacation. So hopefully I'll have some good stuff, some stories from Nolans next episode.
Yes.
So it should be a good time. And that's about it. Oh, I'm going to Chiller Theater at the end of April.
Why don't you bring a sweater or something?
Good one.
Go on, do another one.
I'm going to be meeting Richard Dreyfuss.
Really?
He's going to be at Chiller.
Larry, it's me, Richard Dreyfuss. Welcome to the Schiller Theater. Do you have your sweater?
Schiller Theater?
I said Chiller. Don't ever fucking correct me. I'm Richard Dreyfuss. I was in Jaws. Stand By Me. I was the voice of that guy, played by Will Wheaton.
Oh.
I was the narrator, for Christ's sakes.
I like you, Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mr. Holland. That was one of my favorite movies. My son was deaf. You're not trying hard enough. Call me Mr. Holland. Why am I Seinfeld all of a sudden? Richard Dreyfuss, Seinfeld. Kramer.
And I'm also going to be meeting the voice of Skeletor from the He-Man cartoons.
Good.
and other D-grade celebrities. So that's going to be the end of April.
I can do Starscream. Go ahead, finish.
I'm waiting for you to do it.
No. Well, Skeletor, that wasn't Star right?
No. Skeletor. Well,
because Cobra Commander had.
he was the guy who played Skeletor was on Transformers. I've been trying to figure out. Not like I can look it up, but I've been trying to figure out who he was on Transformers. And when I think of Skeletor, he may have been Starscream.
Could I have really did a trifecta there?
What are the other two parts?
He did Starscream,
Starscream?
and Starscream
That's a
and
movie.
Cobra Commander.
Them two are the same, yeah.
Megatron, no!
Cobra. Alan Oppenheimer.
Jewish.
My God, he was born in 1930. Is he going to be alive by the time?
Oppenheimer. Was that the guy who did the what do you call it? The bomb?
He does a lot of. He did that. He was in The Fall of Grayskull. That was a great short film. Wow, he's on a lot of stuff. A lot of voiceovers in there. All right, well, I'll look this up later because now I got to figure out. Well, you know what? Why don't we just do Transformers?
Oh, wait, we have another review.
What? Say what?
Oh, I'm giving a shout out to my friend Tara. Gave us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Really? Thank you, Tara.
She just wrote, "Great chemistry. Love it.
Nice.
Short, sweet, to the point." Tara, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it. Was this review helpful? Yes, it was, Tara. See, people, we're here for you. We do this, okay? I will give you shout-outs. You're on the interwebs forever and ever. And the poor girl who I did a one-night stand with is on the internet forever and ever. Come here!